Saints quarterback rookie Tyler Shough talks first minicamp practice and continuing to learn new offense. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Shough, tits out for the boys. Here we are. Didn't expect to see this. Welcome to the NFL, son. Tyler Shough going wild. Okay, you can't find this kind of content unless you are going to spend $9.99 a month on a preloaded Visa card so that your partner doesn't find out your dirty internet habits. Anyways, the hell was I talking about? New Orleans football is the backdrop. This is from day one. Day un, as we say in French. My Duolingo streak is now 59 days, I believe. So, un, deux, trois, anyways. All right. But after the first day of minicamp, we're going to hear from Tyler Shough and exactly what all is going on in his world.
Kind of ease the transition from college to the NFL, or was that an easier transition than you already expected?
I think compared to Louisville, I had more verbiage at Louisville, so it really, I think, it streamlines it. Mm-hmm. It's always a.
Can you imagine? I mean, we got to talk about it. Can you imagine? I mean, this poor guy. Can you imagine if you're getting out of the shower and all of a sudden there's 8 mics in your face? That's not a euphemism. Pause. Damn. I mean, you talk about, what in the world is going on here? This is off the rails. But you got all these microphones in your face. They're asking you questions about play calling or whatever. You don't, someone couldn't have said, hey, y'all mind giving me 20 seconds to put a shirt on? It's been 12 seconds in this interview. That's how long everyone just kind of had to chill for a second. Everyone just kind of had to relax for 12 seconds and let my guy get an American Classic tee on.
Process learning new verbiage, but for me it's been really easy as far as from that standpoint, just coming in and being able to learn it. And we run a lot of different plays, but he does a really good job of making sure we're playing fast.
But then just lastly, would you describe a freedom from the QB position in terms of being able to have input or anything like that as well?
Well, I think so. I wouldn't say there's full Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady realm right now,
Sure.
But there's definitely a lot of answers that we can get into. They do a really good job of teaching us what's good versus what we're going to kind of check and do that way.
And this all is a byproduct of Tyler being a experienced rookie and coming from all these different systems and having all of this time in and out of the huddle and all of this time at the line of scrimmage under his belt, and also playing at Louisville, which is a pro style, probably a pretty good crash course in what he can expect in the NFL. So don't get it twisted. If Tyler would have went and played 2 years at wherever, he wouldn't, some West Coast air raid style setup, he wouldn't have this. He wouldn't be this far along. And you have to remember that too, that Shough is where he needs to be as far as his development and how far along he is so far. Now, granted, that's all OTAs. We're starting to get into the real test here, but I think up until now, I guess, everything we've seen is that he has what it takes to perform. All right, now we got to hope that continues going up. We got to hope that with every new challenge and every new iteration of camp and preseason and whatnot, that he keeps ascending. And as of right now, it seems like he is. But he seems like he is well equipped for this situation, which should not be a surprise because of his experience in his collegiate career.
We're not in the realm of calling whatever we want at this point. Right. So, and I think you don't want to be. Everyone's learning new plays, so we got to get what we're good at down first.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Tyler.
Yeah, for sure. The last thing that they want is Tyler Shough to be up there at the line of scrimmage, changing stuff and moving the plays around and adjusting things. Hey, brother, let's just get the offense down. Let's just get it down first, and then we can start making checks and adjusting.
To that point, where do you feel like you've already made a leap in your game?
For me, was just coming here, getting the feel of the guys. I've never thrown to some of the receivers before, and really just kind of getting my feet wet with that. And I feel after this whole month, I feel up to speed with everybody. It's been clicking really, really well. I think that was just kind of that growth part where you're trying to learn different speeds of different this guy. So the playbook part, I knew I was going to grind and work my butt off to learn that, but got to continue to do that, continue to master it, and compete from there.
And then that,
man, we had a video on his last interview where we talked about how what's not being discussed, except on this channel, is the human element of Tyler just having to kind of know who these guys are. Just getting used to seeing his teammates and talking to them and who they are as humans and their relationships and the bond and the friendship or whatever. And then on the field, their cadence and tempo and how this person runs a route versus this one versus this route. Timing here, timing there. Where do I park my car? Where do I go to the bathroom? Like all that stuff. He's hinting at that of, look, that first couple weeks, first month, whatever, that is the challenge. The challenge is not throwing a slant route. The challenge is not the playbook. The challenge is not push-ups or running or, the heat or whatever. The challenge is the same challenge it would be going to any new job where you're more concerned about, the actual like human stuff. So I'm glad he talked about that. Makes a lot of sense, obviously, since we kind of led that narrative. And I have no doubt in my mind that he is fully past that now. I mean, obviously, he'll have to do it with each new veteran he meets, and some vets are now showing up to camp, but it'll be much easier now that he's been in the building. He's driven his car there a few times. Like all that stuff's happening. So now he can get down to brass tacks, get down to the football.
Kellen talked about, obviously wanting someone to be the guy on the field, but also like commanding the huddle as well. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. I think owning every huddle that I'm a part of, I'm an older guy, but, even though I'm a rookie, I got to go earn their respect.
True.
So no matter what, I'm going to come in there, know my job, help other people know theirs as well, and then convey the message, convey the play, and let's roll.
Tyler, how do you balance wanting to go out there, letting rip, not being afraid to make mistakes within the context of I'm in a battle with this other guy and people are evaluating everything?
Yeah.
Great question. So I know it was a little muffled there, but Nick asked, how do you balance going out there, playing free, letting it rip, but in the context of being in competition with Spencer Rattler, where, yeah, you want to let it rip, but you also I don't want to throw 3 picks because I'm directly competing with Rat Daddy. Great question.
I think it's a great question just from, I've had experience doing
I played the game at a high level
that I was at. I've been in a quarterback competition. And when you're, 22-year-old rookie, you're like, every single throw, you're like, I'm trying to match it, or I had a bad throw. But I've already kind of been through that, and I know the best way to do it is just do your job. There's going to be a lot of times we're running quick game, you may take the check down. That's a great play from the coach's perspective. Maybe not from you guys, and it's not a deep long ball, but I'm going to do my job, and I think that's going to get recognized. So luckily I've been able to go through that. So for me, like I was saying earlier, I just want to get the feel with everybody first, which I've been doing now, and master the offense and go from there, and I've been having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, I mean, great point from Tyler where, hey, look, if the best play is a check down, I'm not going to pass that up just to try and roll out, extend the play, and bomb something deep just to do highlight throws. We've, making highlight throws 100% of the time is not efficient. It's not what they want, right? So if you get caught in that, if you let the competition get the best of you, and again, his experience has shown him kind of the best way to handle this. If he would not have had the quarterback battles at Oregon and Texas Tech and Louisville, maybe he would come into this being like, look, I got to really show off here. I got to throw every ball 100 miles an hour. I got to make every deep throw. I can't check down. I can't throw it away. I can't eat the play, whatever. And maybe that gets him out of his rhythm. But his maturity level of understanding, okay, this is how I got to do it. I just got to play within myself, keep everything, to the letter, and I'll be fine. That's that maturity that we were hoping would be the case, and it seems like it is.
Speaking of those checkdowns, do they do a good job at designing those? Because it seems like there's somebody open with 10 yards of space in the checkdown all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of it. 7-on-7, there's no run component, so a lot of times there's going to be some guys dropping back. They're not going to. That's part of it, but it also is a great training mechanism because we're trying to get positive plays. So there's going to be shots, and you got to take them when they're there, but you always got to take positive yards. So.
Yeah, I mean, 7-on-7. Why would you play up? There is no. You're not playing the run at all. Of course, they're going to drop back a little bit, keep everything in front.
Is there a benefit to running as much 7-on-7 this time of year that you guys are doing?
I think just.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, in Tyler's situation, the 7-on-7 is the best possible way for him to learn his receivers. Best possible way for him to learn their breaks, their speed, the timing, all that stuff, just throwing. Just getting out there and throwing. Not having to worry about anything else. Just worrying about, okay, this is Rashid Shaheed. Boom, this is Chris Olave. This is whoever. Like, just getting to know your receivers.
Getting reps in general is going to be a benefit. Obviously, ideally you'd want to, get live game action reps. But I think the biggest thing that we can do is make it game-like, and that's the adjustment that I've seen coming from this level. Is you're not going to get as many reps, so you got to make everyone count. I feel like I've been trying to do that really good.
Tyler, how do you like working with Kellen Moore, with him being a former quarterback himself?
It's been great. I think as he speaks the language, he's been behind the face mask from that standpoint, so he knows what's going on.
This is Google Pixel.
Kellen. Yeah, Kellen. It's always an ad, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Kellen's going to be a huge help, obviously, for Tyler and Spencer and Hunter Deckers. Even just kind of having the quarterback being the guy who you are getting the plays from, who's the head coach. That's a huge benefit as well. All right, there you go. Tyler Shough after minicamp. I like what I'm hearing. I really do. I think he is progressing just from where I'm seeing it. I think he's progressing exactly how I would hope he is. And, yeah, man, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for all these guys for sure. But we got a battle on our hands. And, hopefully next time the media gives him 15 seconds to put a shirt on. Poor guy. You never want to turn around, Ariel is out. I've got nipples too. Can you milk me, Greg? You never want to be in that scene, with a bunch of cameras in your face. So there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you understood that movie reference at the end of this, put it down in the comments below. One of my all-time favorite movies or comedies. Really funny stuff. Okay, thank you for watching. This was Off the Rails, and I'm on a different level. I'll see you next video.